Hey guys, what is up? It's Zero here, and today I'll be showing you guys how to make low poly trees, which you can easily make within a few minutes and have nice cartoony looking trees for your game. So to start off, you're gonna have to hop on over to Blender. If you don't have Blender, I'll put a link to the download page below, so make sure to go check that out. First thing you're gonna need to do is press Shift A to insert a new mesh and select the cylinder mesh. In the bottom left, you'll see this add cylinder section. You're going to want to make sure vertices is set to 7, 6, or 8, anywhere around there, depending on what your preference is. After you've done that, you're going to want to press S and move your mouse towards it to scale it down again, and then press S, and then Z, X, or Y. It might be different for you, but for me it's Z, and then move it away to scale it up. This will give you what will act as a trunk of our tree. So we're going to be exporting these all in separate parts so we can color them differently inside Studio. So once you have something that looks somewhat like this, you can click File, Export, Wavefront.obj, and then you can create a file for all your Blender meshes and stuff. That's what I've done. I'll just create a new one called tutorial folder. And then if I go over here, I can insert tree trunk, hit enter, enter again, and that'll save it. Excuse me. Now we're going to want to press the backspace button, or delete button on our keyboard, and then click delete. So now what we're going to need to do is go to mesh, and then insert a cone. Same thing down here, you're going to want to change the vertices. Probably going to want it set to however many vertices you had for your trunk, because it looks best if they have the same amount. After you've done that, you're just going to have to, you're going to take this and you're going to scale it up a bit. Now you're going to press Control C, then Control V, move up the new one, and then scale it down with the S key. And once you select the S key, just move the mouse in to scale it down and move it out to scale it up until you have it about how you want it for the next layer. Now we're going to want to copy and paste again, drag up and scale down. Once again, lower it or raise it until it's how we want it. And then I think that looks just like that, looks pretty nice. If you want to, you can add some rotational stuff to these, so just if like you click and hold shift and click another one, you can select a multiple. Then if we press R, press Z, X, or Y till we get the right axis we want to rotate on. We can rotate these guys to make it look a little more detailed if we really wanted to, although it's not a necessity. So I'll just rotate that one back up there. So this will be the grass part, the leaf part of our tree. We'll export it the same way we did the other one. File, Export, Wavefront.obj. This one I'll name Treetop.obj. Now we're ready to move over to Roblox Studio. Once you're in Studio, you can right click on the open workspace, go to Insert Object, and then find Mesh Part. Once you have a mesh part inserted in your Properties window, which you can open your properties by going to View, then clicking Properties, you're going to want to scroll until you find this Mesh ID section. You're going to want to click here and then click the little folder that pops up. And then in your documents, you're going to want to find wherever you saved your meshes. Tutorial folder, tree trunk, click open. You might get a few different prompts, just click no to all of them. And now we have our trunk. See, since it's a mesh, we can scale it by each separate axis, whereas a model or union, we have to scale it on all of them. So if you want to do any resizing to your trunk, that can be done very easily. I'm just going to change the material to smooth plastic, then the color to brown. Drag it down a bit. Now we're going to want to duplicate this mesh part. Mesh ID, click the little folder again, and now bring in our tree top. Once again, click no to all the prompts that come up, and now we've got our tree top. We're going to want to color this, well, green in my case. I'm sure you want your tree green. Now we can raise this up to however we want it to be, say about excuse me, about there. We can just scale this accordingly. If you hold shift and drag, it'll scale it on all the axes at once. Move that down. So that's looking pretty good, I think. Now if we want to just make the whole thing a bit bigger, we can just select all the parts and then scale up. Don't forget to anchor these, and then we can do Control G to group them and name the model to tree. Now if we insert a spawn point near the tree and click test, we can check out our tree. You may want to rescale it in size comparison to your player because you might have got the scale a bit off, but usually it's fine. And that's it. That's how quick and easy it is to make a low poly tree inside of Blender. If you want more tutorials like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel and like the video. In the future, I'll be releasing videos like how to make low poly swords and terrain pieces. So make sure to comment down below which ones you want first. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.